add up to 1 Tower.
Yeah, Ginger, whatever.
Valid point, Ginger, and so, like I said, what I would do is I would keep Chad Wood in my corner if I was Deadly Instinct.
I mean, even compared to Deadly Instinct's
Chad Wood is claiming that Jamar Anderson was pulling his hair.
Yeah, look at that. He'll be pulling his hair.
I mean, Joe, I had more hair on my head than Chad Wood.
The ball is beautiful. In spite of the fact I have a beautiful flock of seagulls hair.
Hey, you know what, Joe, the bottom line is, you know, some guys can rock the cul-de-sac, and I just happen to be one of them.
I rock any style I wear. All right, Jamar, get in there. No hair pulling, Jamar.
We'll go to 2 and block up. Joe takes very happy with Jamar Anderson since he came back. You know, he's got a lot of heart, and I think he can definitely, you know, if he keeps playing his cards right, he could one day have gold around his waist.
Well, it's listen, he needs to fight it out. This is not a house of hearts. This is a house of fighting. It's who's the better man? Who's stronger? It's survival of the fittest, BK. Yes, really. So why don't you shut your mouth and go in there and wrestle these 2 giants and see what you got.
I'll never forget when Chower and Chad Wood first made their presence felt there in the OSWA. You had the tag team of Completely Awesome in the ring. All of a sudden, they just came in, interrupted that match, and they were looking for one of the competitors in that tag team, and they beat everybody down trying to find them.
Well, I'll tell you, that's what I'm saying. These guys are just devastating. You know, the biggest and the baddest tag teams are the ones who wind up on top of the OSWA. So, I would say that Jamar Anderson and Keith Cage are a huge mountain of upstream.
Before Chad Wood saying, hey, I want him, goes in. Look at this. Chad Wood there trying to get a little pep talk to the Tower, it looks like.
Well, here we go. Keith Gage ready to face off against Chad Wood.
Chad Wood backs up in the corner, Joe. Say something. Keith is good, but Joe, he has to remember, he's quick. He's got it. He should rely on his quickness and agility instead of relying on his strength, because this is what happens. See, Chad Wood's a stronger competitor. Ooh. Now the big man comes in.
Gee, I wonder who the stronger competitor is now.
Let's see.
Wow, Joe, big 18 triple E foot right to the face. Oh wow, a little shot, a little shin there in the face. Look at Joe grabbing the hair, pulling him back.
Tower's foot is as big as Keith Cage's back.
It's not good, Joe.
Well, that'll hold him up there.
I mean, get all the blood rushing to his head.
You know that's
the strength of Tower just holding him up.
You know it's going to mess with Keith Cage's equilibrium, making it very hard for him to try to compete in this matchup.
Oh, wow, just planted him down. See, Joe, Keith Cage, he's got to rely on his speed. Instead of trying to match rate, he's got to break free, do some hit and run attacks. Man, Chad Wood is now back in after Tower's done some significant damage to Fatal Instincts.
Well, I'll tell you something. The 7th grade sensation, Keith Cage, he's going to have a hard time getting back from a beating like that. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Joe, let me ask you this. Eventually, the team of Chad Wood and Tower are going to have to face White Trash. I mean, Joe, at that point, who would your money be on?
I would have to say Chad Wood and Tower. They're just by far the more devastating tag team. I call a spade, PK. I call it right down the middle. And I'll tell you something, I'd say it would be Tower.
Well, Joe, I think White Trash in the past gave them a run for their money. You think about it, you know, White Trash basically barely lost, if they lost at all. I mean, he didn't have his foot over the ropes, that's why they still claim they're champions.
Well, just because you give them a run for their money doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win. There are plenty of companies out there that have given more.
Wow, Joe, look at that. Just using that big head of Towers as a turnbuckle. Keith Cage now basically almost knocked out from those devastating head rams, I guess you could call them.
Absolutely, PK. Look at it, just going to town on Keith Cage. Oh, my goodness.
Joe, that's 350 pounds coming down on your chest.
I think Keith Cage is having a stroke here.
Keith Cage isn't even half the weight of Tower.
I think he wastes much Tower's leg. That's what I think.
He's about as tall as Howard's playing.
Absolutely. I tell you, Tower, definitely the biggest man to ever walk into the OSWA, facing probably the smallest man, smallest boy, to walk into the OSWA.
Joe, I'll tell you something, he may be small, maybe young, but I'll tell you something, Keith Cage has always had a lot of fight in him. He just doesn't roll over and play dead or give up quickly.
Yeah, well, he's got all these teeny bopper girls cheering for him, so I'm sure that gives him some
Hey, Joe, I caught a hint of jealousy in your voice there, buddy.
jealousy. I don't care if little girls get me, which I know they do, but I care more about the women. Alright, so I'm a man, not a boy.
Are you sure?
There's no jealousy there. Yes, I know. Unlike Keith, I shave more than once a month.
Oh, look at Jamar Anderson coming in. This is not good, Joe. He's distracting the ref. Now look at the tag team work here of Chad Wood using that rope. Using the rope to choke Keith Cage outside on the corner of the ring. Keith Cage is literally in no man's land right now.
Jamar only has himself to blame. He threw a temper tantrum. He tried to get in the ring. He was unprofessional. And he should not have tried to get involved in that match.
Man, Joe, Keith Cage is taking quite the beating and the abuse during this match.
Hey, you only got Jamar to blame for that. Had he not thrown a temper tantrum like that, that would have never happened. The ref would have caught him.
Watch, look at him using the ropes.
Oh, don't worry. When you're 12 years old, you can come back from a beating like that, no sweat.
Look at this, Joe. Joe, Keith Cage has been taking so much abuse. We're over 6 minutes into this match. And Keith, if Deadly Instinct has any hope whatsoever, Keith Cage has got to tag in Jamar Anderson.
Well, I got to hand it to Keith Cage. He lasted 6 minutes.
Oh, look at that, Joe. Keith Cage using the rope.
I think he lost 10 seconds.
Keith Cage, and that's the way you bring a big man down, just chopping down at the trunk of that tree, Joe.
He needs to rely on footwork. He can't be managing strength by strength.
Big old shoulder block, pulling a clothesline.
Very anticlimactic entrance by Jamar Anderson.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you something, at least took some of the pressure. Ooh, took some of the pressure off Keith Cage. Man, Joe, could you imagine? Joe, I felt that all the way over here.
I think we need to call it a hard shot.
Wow, Joe, he just threw him around like he was treating him like he was a kid.
Is there a cardiologist in the house? No. This is pretty good.
Wow, look at that. Towers in the dance, Chad Wood's in there, just getting the cleanup crew.
I tell you, man, these guys, one thing I will say is that their instincts take a great beating. Wow, that was awesome.
Backflip into a slam on the part of Chad Wood.
Another one. What a showman. He likes to make sure that everybody gets their money's worth.
Look at this.
It's a working man's champion.
The dynamic skill of Chad Wood. Joe, these guys are definitely two different types of wrestlers, but as a tag team, they're just dominating.
Yeah, they are. And I'll tell you something. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh!
Wow, Joe, I'll tell you something. We have an orthodontist in the house.
No, this is Cornelia. Don't worry about that. There are no Dontics or Allergics or anybody more than high school diploma.
Hey, Joe, look at this.
Oh, this can't be well.
We've seen it before, Joe.
Yeah, can't do whatever. This deal was for me and not the Cleveland show. Wow, boy. This Tower kind of lost this footwork there.
Keith Cage goes in and breaks up the count.
Man, well, that's cheating right there. I'm glad everybody's cheering for the cheater. I hope that you all understand that that is double-sided, that's double standing.
It's hypocritical. Joe, as long as that instinct keeps this match going, there's a chance they could win. Every dog has a day, Joe.
They don't have a snowball's chance in the toes of Hades of winning this one. Wow. Impressive.
Folks, Chad Wood playing with agility and strength. Joe, look at that. There's a lot of showmanship there, but a lot of skill built in. Keith Cage breaking up the count.
That's
trying to keep this match alive, Joe, with 10 minutes into this match.
That's because Chad Wood is a working man's champion. He wants to give everybody here their money's worth. They know that half their weekly wages go to paying for these tickets.
Look at this, Joe.
Oh, this can't end well. I'm
not
looking
going to
forward.
bode well for our challenger, Joe.
Oh no.
Keith Cage.
What was that, a mosquito?
Coming in. Look at Jamar Anderson fighting out of it.
Wait a minute. Hey, this is
Wow, it's a great by Keith Cage. Tower hanging on the ropes.
Boy, it's good that he's got those long limbs.
Joe, there's a
My
chance.
goodness. Wait a minute.
These guys call themselves Roy. They call themselves. Man, they've really got a thing with Jamar Anderson and Keith Cage. I don't know what it is, but this is the second time they've come in and interrupted their match.
I do not know who these guys are at all. I have no idea. But they did their job.
Joe, I'll tell you something. We haven't had a real chance to talk to these guys, but I'd like to know what their beef is with Deadly Instincts. For some reason, they do not like those guys.
Not at all. They're excited.
Wow, look at that huge move on the part of Chad Wood and Tower.
It must be some sort of rival high school